Long after people's memories fade, the physical resource remains, and it's our link with the past. What is a brick, first of all? A brick is a prismatic shape of burnt clay that fits in your hand. And from one brick, you build buildings, you build chimneys, you build all sorts of structures. So the brick industry in Medicine Hat started on this site, a couple hundred meters from where we're sitting, in 1886. At one point, I think in 1913, Medicine Hat was the fastest per capita growing town in North America. People were camped out in tents. There weren't enough houses. There were factories going up right, left, and center. And there was a huge demand for brick. So in the case of our family company, which at the time was founded as the Redcliffe Press Brick Company Limited, in 1912, we were actually a Johnny-come-lately. The brick industry was already roaring along. My father and his brothers, their biggest challenge through the 50s, 60s, and 70s was to build capacity to stay ahead of demand. When you talk about shopping centers and churches and government buildings and office buildings, by and large, they were brick. So we were supplying brick to Quebec, Toronto, the Washington, D.C. Convention Center, MIT. It got to the point in the 90s where we were looking at Japan for markets. The plant was really running well and humming right along. And quite suddenly and without any warning in 2010, at 2:34, I still remember that, I got the call from our plant manager that the plant had been flooded. My wife said, well, you're not going to sleep. And no. So we went up on the hill opposite, and being June, it was light even at 4 o'clock in the morning, and the entire valley was full of water, and you could see the steam coming off the kilns. Probably the saddest day in my entire life, and I include deaths of parents and everything else, was the day I had to tell staff that we weren't going to restart the plant. We wanted to preserve the family's heritage in the brick business. We are located in the historic clay district, in the National Historic District. We donated the plant site along with cash to help with repairs and operations to the Friends of Medalta. So now it's part of their operation, and I can still come and visit it. Physical resources, historic resources are a link to the past, and they tell a story in themselves, but they cause us to ask about the story. And by asking, the story is told over and over again and documented, and that's how we preserve our past.